Michael Owen questions Viktor Gyökeres. Arsenal credentials after slow start. Former England striker Michael Owen has cast doubt over Viktor Gyökeres to live up to the hype at Arsenal, warning that the Swede may have already made mistakes that will haunt his time in North London. Gyökeres arrived this summer from Sporting Lisbon in a deal that was meant to solve Arsenal's long-standing center-forward problem. Handed the famous number 14 shirt once worn by Thierry Henry, the 27-year-old instantly became a focal point for expectation. Yet Owen believes that decision has only heaped unnecessary pressure on a player still finding his footing. Taking on Henry's number was a mistake before he even kicked a ball, Owen remarked. That shirt is a burden. Every missed chance, every quiet performance will now be judged against one of the greatest to ever play for the club. The former Liverpool and Manchester United forward went further, questioning whether Gyökeres has the tools to deliver in England. Arsenal's opening fixtures have provided little evidence to calm those doubts. In the high-profile clash with Manchester United, the Swede managed no shots in his first hour on the pitch, often left isolated and ineffective as Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka looked elsewhere in attack. Owen highlighted those struggles as a red flag rather than an early glitch. For him, the issue lies not only in Gyökeres' adaptation, but in the way Arsenal's system seems to expose his limitations. You can make excuses about service, but a £70 million striker should change games on his own terms, Owen argued. At Sporting, he thrived with space in behind. At Arsenal, he'll need to dominate tight, physical Premier League defenses. I don't see him doing that consistently, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta admitted after the United game that his team failed to play to their new striker's strengths. But Owen sees that as a problem in itself. If a system has to bend that much to suit one player, maybe he wasn't the right signing, he said. Criticism from other quarters has echoed Owen's doubts. Chris Sutton noted that Martinelli didn't look for him, while former Chelsea striker Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank warned that Arsenal risk rendering Gyökeres useless if teammates don't adapt. To Owen, those warnings are less about the team and more about the player's ability to command his role. With Arsenal targeting the Premier League title, Owen insists the margin for error is slim. This team has been crying out for a striker to take them over the line, he said. If Gyökeres doesn't hit the ground running, Arsenal will be left wondering why they gambled on him. For now, Gyökeres has only played a handful of minutes in Arsenal colors, but the early narrative is shaping fast, and Owen's critique ensures the spotlight will burn even brighter. What Owen has said. Here are the key points Michael Owen has raised in relation to Viktor Gyökeres at Arsenal. 1. The number 14 pressure. Owen said taking the number 14 shirt, famously worn by Thierry Henry, adds extra expectations for Gyökeres. That shirt carries a legacy, and Owen feels it amplifies scrutiny. 2. Arsenal finally got a center forward. But Owen believes that by signing Gyökeres, Arsenal filled a long-standing gap. Yet simultaneously, Owen argues that the expectations are high and that everything depends on Gyökeres delivering. 3. Mistake. Before even starting, in some reports from Spanish-language sources, Owen is quoted as saying Gyökeres already made a big mistake at Arsenal before even making his debut. That criticism seems focused on off-pitch decisions or the burden he's taken on, rather than specific match errors. What critics point out. During matches, Owen isn't alone. Others have flagged tangible issues from Gyökeres' early games. In the opener versus Manchester United, Gyökeres didn't register a shot in the first hour and had limited service. Chris Sutton, for example, said Gabriel Martinelli, a teammate, didn't look for him enough, meaning there wasn't enough linkage or support in attack to really involve Gyökeres fully. Mikel Arteta, manager, admitted Arsenal did not play to Gyökeres' strengths in that Manchester United game. Too much distance, not enough through balls behind defenders, etc. What isn't clear, what weakens the discredit. Because I ride shotgun, I also see what doesn't fully stack up. Small sample size. Criticisms are mostly from one match or just a few. Debut games are almost always rough for strikers in a new league/club. Team performance matters. If the rest of the team doesn't adapt to how Gyökeres plays, runs, movement, service, it's not all on him. Some pundits pointed this out. Expectations inflated by price and shirt. Because he came at big cost, big reputation, and wearing a legendary shirt number, the margin for error is slim. Owen and others suggest that the problem is more expectation than reality so far. Arteta's defense. The manager is publicly admitting the team didn't optimize for Gyökeres' strengths. That gives him a buffer. If the system doesn't suit him yet, it's not necessarily failure. My take, how much discredit is there? If you frame discredit as undermining his reputation or expectations, there's a fair amount Owen contributes to that narrative. He's raising doubts before Gyökeres has fully settled, which tends to shape public perception. But if you consider on-field evidence, the discredit is mild so far. Single game or two, not all his fault, and lots of mitigating context, new league, pressure, teammates adjusting, system issues.